Buongiorno, buonasera, benvenuti amici, welcome my friends. My name is Vincenzo and welcome to my channel, Fountain Pen Therapy. Once again, from the beautiful golf course in Montreal to the Fountain Pen Therapy Studios, we're presenting you my weekly recap, June 23rd, 2024. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Well, my Italian team, where is it? There it is. Well, my Italian team is not doing that great. They looked awful against Spain. I think they got one shot on net, unfortunately. But I can tell you my golf game is really sharp, so I'm really happy. And you know what, folks? I got a wonderful show for you today. We got some inks, we got some pens, we got some paper, we got some commentary, and I got some special news for you I'm really thrilled about, and I'm going to really enjoy sharing with you. Stay tuned for that at the end in the feedback and commentary section. But for the time being, and without any further ado, let's look at pen and inks in the news. Be right back. We're back. So for pens in the news, you know, it's been a slow week. I've got some Chinese pens that I'd like to show you that I've received, but in terms of the market itself, I think it's the same pens that are in the news. There's nothing really exciting going on, if you will. But here are some trends that I think I've been able to pick up, and hopefully you have as well. So let me just go to my camera. Pen Chalet, and I think other sites as well. I think Delta must be doing a blitz because I've seen some Delta pens. There's the original size, oversize, that's there. They've got this new masterpiece fountain, Delta DV, which is again another version of the Dolce Vita. Look at the price, $236 US. It's a big juicy pen. I would recommend that. We see the same thing. We see the Gallery mid-size that's there. We also see the DV Original Oro oversize. This, of course, is with the gold nib at $636. I believe you can probably get a steel nib for that pen as well. You see that the Gallery Blue Moon is there as well. So, you know, and you have this, they don't have a picture of it, but the DV Original Oversized Ellie Riviera. And I see this trend not only with Pen Chalet, I'm just showing you the Pen Chalet offerings, but I've seen that in many other sites. So I think Delta must be doing a blitz. There you go. That's worthy of mention. Next thing, on the Chinese pen front, what have we got? Well, first of all, we've got the 1935. I really never expected that Jinao 1935 in any other color other than red. But there you have it. They've actually gone with the green. I've seen it. This is on Etsy. I don't know if you guys prefer this green. Frankly, I prefer the red. But, you know, I mean, this pen so far, you either really hate it, and it's not going to be part of any purchases soon, or you enjoy it, you like it, and you figure why not. So, but there you have it. I'm not sure yet whether I will be ordering this green version. It's an exact, obviously it's the same thing as the red. Next thing on the Chinese pen front, you have this Ongdian M2 mini fountain pen. It's now offered in this orange color. It's the aluminum alloy pocket pen, of course. Very popular. I think it's really successful. People like it. Until then, it came in very much darker colors, but of course you've got it here in orange. For those of you who enjoy orange, why not? Next thing on the Chinese pen front, I wanted to show you on Etsy Saint Pen PPS, which is really Bobby nibs or Bobby pens. I forget what he used to call himself, but he's got some interesting nib grinds for the Mahjong A1, A2, and A3. And I'll put it up on the screen. Inquiring Minds did just a great video showing you the different options that are available from Saint pen PPS, but I think it's a good thing. I think I'm going to get, and I think I've already ordered, this medium stub nib. One of the things that I didn't like about the A1, A2, A3 was that originally it only came in an extra fine. I was glad to see they added the fine as an option, and now with Saint Pen PPS you can get other grinds, which I think is a great idea. So there you have it. That's on the pen and nib front. What have we got on the NIG ink front? Well, first of all, I'd like to mention this is the Gold Spot site, and most of the other sites have got it as well. But let me just see, where is it? Just bear with me a second. There's some new inks. We've looked at these Inkvent ones, but here it is. Wearingeul has got now this From the Earth to the Moon. Nice blue. I think this is an interesting ink, and they've at the same time came out with Hounds of Baskerville, I think it is, and now it's not coming up. But yeah, there's two inks from Wearingeul, which I think are very, very interesting in terms of what's new, and that's on that front. Then there is Mike Matheson did a review on this ink from Galen Leather and KWZ. It's this sapphire blue. They've also got this prairie green and this old moor. I think these are three great inks. They're, I think, Galen Leather exclusive. And Mike Matheson did do one on this sapphire blue, which I think it could be, and I think these swatches don't do justice to it, but I think it very, very, very nice inks. So that's what I've been able to kind of figure out in terms of on the ink front that is worthy of mention, if you will. So there you have it in terms of pen and inks and nibs in the news. So stay tuned for my spotlight. We'll take a look at my pen and ink haul, and then also my paper haul. We'll start with the pen haul. Be right back. Actually, what I think we're going to do is start with the ink haul first, so we can use those inks for the pen haul, if you will. So let's take a look at some of the inks that I got. Well, first of all, the inks that I got that I'm going to show you in a few seconds were a Father's Day gift from the kids and the wife. Very much appreciated. I also got a very nice surprise from the kids. A nice mug with the fountainpentherapy logo on it. There you go. My cappuccino is in there now. Enjoying it. So fountainpentherapy. You know what? My wife says, you can start your own your own products. But I don't think I'm going to go that far. I got my fountainpentherapy sign up. They also got me a t-shirt with fountainpentherapy. So there you go. Very much appreciated from the kids. So let's take a look at the other gift that I got. Really nice. I'm sure the wife had something to do with this, but let's go to my overhead camera and I'll show you what I got. Yes, I got 3 Mont Blanc inks, and they're all from the Mont Blanc anniversary inks. So we've got coral, we've got blue, and we've got green. Very nice. Beautiful bottles, by the way. These open up this way. They're just, my camera is not cooperating. There you have it. This one I haven't even pulled out yet. Beautiful, beautiful bottles, like usual. Very nice. So I think I'm going to be enjoying these inks. And we're going to do some swatching. Let's open up the blue as well. There we go. And the coral. And we'll take care of the swatching. So, can I tell which one they are? Blue, and this one should be green. So let's put these there, and then we'll start. I think we'll start with coral, and then we'll do the blue. So now in terms of paper, what I decided this week, again, I want to show you, let me just see if I could pull it up a little bit so everything isn't, okay, there we go. I've got some rhodia paper. This is Tomoe River. This is Aerofil paper, or Aerofil paper, and this is the Midori. Okay, so let's do some swatching. So first of all, let's start with, whoa, here we go. We'll start with the coral. Really happy about these inks. Kind of coral, but really reddish from what I can see here. So let's start here first. There we go. This is on the rhodia paper. This is on the Tomoe River. This is on the Aerofil. And this is the Midori. Yeah, Midori, as it turns out, is not one of my favorite papers, and I know some of you wondered why. I just don't know. This paper has never really grown on me. Maybe I should give it a go. I don't like the texture of it. And I mean, you know, a lot of my viewers say that I'm not giving it a fair shakes, and perhaps so it is. I'm not going to waste time writing out. I'll do that later, because we know what we're dealing with. We're dealing with this Mesterstück, the Origin collection. Actually, you know what? No, I think we should at least write Mont Blanc, just so that you can appreciate how the writing looks. Yeah, that's nice. I'm just going to write the word Mont Blanc. Feels like a fairly dry ink, surprisingly enough, on at least on this nib. We'll see how it feels in an actual fountain pen, if you will. But okay, so that's the swatching for the coral. Put that aside, and we'll now proceed to the next one. Okay, so shut that bottle. Beautiful bottles, these Mont Blanc. So what is this? This should be the blue one. Is it not? Yeah. Nice royal blue. Really nice royal blue. So, first and foremost, okay, this is the rhodia. Yeah, the rhodia is the one that kind of, you know, you need more ink. Tomoe River. Aerofil. And Midori. Here we go. How does it feel in terms of the actual writing? Again, this is Mont Blanc, and I'll fill in the blanks later. This blue, I can tell you, feels much... Oh, just messed all up my fingers. Feels much wetter. You know, I can never, I'm a little bit like Hemingway Jones. He keeps saying that he messes his fingers up with ink. I can never do a swatching free of a mess. Now, look at this. It's all a mess. So, but there's the swatching, folks. Just give me a few seconds. I'm going to wash my fingers. And the beauty of not doing this live is that you won't waste any time. I'll be right back, wash my fingers, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so we're back. Wash my fingers. By the way, speaking about products that can, wash your hands when they're been smudged by ink, I'm going to put up on the screen. I believe that both Goulet pens and Anderson pens have come up suggesting some products, and I'll put up the links and maybe just a picture, just a shot of those products. Apparently, these two products appear to work as alternatives, so thought I'd mention to you that could be useful. There you have it. The blue swatch is done. Let's do that green ink. And let's hope I don't make another mess. But again, the beauty of not doing this live is that I can always cut and come back and not waste your time, which I know is precious. Okay, first, let's do the Rhodia. Very slippery paper, Rhodia, isn't it? And you can tell that the ink kind of takes a little while to absorb. Whereas on the Tomoe River, the flow is so much better. Both, as you know, excellent paper. Aerofoil is, again, another one of my favorites. Kind of, if you're going to look at a replacement for Tomoe River, this Aerofoil paper is really, really nice. But we'll take a look at those swatches once they are dry and just see how these inks show up. I like this dark green, I really do. It's a little darker than one of my favorite Mont Blanc inks, which is that Irish green. It's in my Pelikan M1000. I don't think I would want to put any other ink, but maybe this dark green ink might be an alternative. Let's just see how it feels. Okay, here we go. So this is Mont Blanc. Here we go. So those are the three inks. So what I propose is we'll give it some time to dry up, and we'll be right back once they're all dried so that we can take a look at these inks and see what kind of performance or what kind of shading, sheening, or what kind of results we have, so you guys can decide whether or not they should form part of your collection. Be right back. Okay, we're back with the swatches. They're nice and dry. And amazingly enough, I've been very harsh on Midori, but maybe it's because it's got kind of a beige paper, but really sharp color on Midori, I got to tell you. There's no sheen of any visible, a little bit here on Aerofoil and the Tomoe River, but in terms of sharpness, the Rhodia and the Midori are the ones that provide the most. The rest, I think Tomoe River and Aerofoil give you a little more shading than they do that sharpness. But there you have it. That's the coral. Next is the green. Again, Midori gives us a little bit of sheen there, amazingly enough, which is nice. So maybe I've been underestimating them, haven't I? Aerofoil has got some sheen here. I can see it. a little bit here on the Tomio River, but surprisingly enough, Tomio River is giving me the least. And there again, they're kind of a little bit washed out on both of these, but much darker on Rhodia and the Midori. Let's see if it seems to be a pattern there. In terms of the blue, I like the blue. There's a little bit, actually, let me just shut off a light here because I think the light is maybe just, yeah, this is a better depiction of the actual color in real life. Pretty even, but again, Midori is giving me that nice sheen, a little bit in Irrefull, just a little touch here. Tomio River and Rhodia, not known to provide that sheen most of the time. But as you can see, it's a nice different royal blue, if you will. A little bit of purplish tint in that. But there you have the swatches, nice and dry. So we'll proceed now to my paper haul. Okay, so we're back for the pen haul. One paper that for the life of me, I just took for granted, but this HP Premium 32 photocopy paper is oftentimes used as a litmus paper, if you will, or kind of a base, if you will. And I realized I had never ordered some. I never really tested any of this paper with fountain pens. So one of my viewers suggested it and said, what about Premium 32 HP? And I said, you know what, I'm ordering right away. And right away I ordered it, and here it is. It was delivered by Amazon, but it kind of, all the paper wrapping kind of cracked and open. Thank God most of this paper hasn't been completely ruined. But there you go. And the second one, and again, another viewer suggested this paper. I had seen it before, but I didn't have it in my collection. It's Strathmore writing paper. Strathmore is known for more art paper, if you will. But this apparently is something to consider. I mean, this one is not bad. I think, what is it, 250 sheets, approximately $20. So that's good value. But I got to tell you, this one for 50 sheets, I believe it's $25. I find that expensive, but maybe the paper is nice. It looks like type of paper where, I don't know if the camera picks this up properly, but as you could see, there's kind of a opened margins here, kind of paper that you write like a nice letter with. Both of them are fairly thick in terms of thickness of paper. So we'll see if these two perform, and we'll take it from there. So what I propose that we take a look at the pen haul, the pen resurrection, the 3-pen resurrection, and test those pens that I have resurrected. We'll also take a look at pens that I use during the week, and we'll use these two paper products to do so. We'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back with the 3-pen resurrection. Let's take a look at, first of all, what I used last week. The 3 pens I had proposed last week were this Marte Modena Freedom, this green one. This is the Gioia Partenope, and this Delta Marchiaro. 3 Italian pens, celebrating the Euro Cup and my Italian team. That was kind of the theme there. But I must tell you that in addition to those 3, I used the following pens. I put this thing to the test, the Andean C1. Very nice. Used it on my Abonici notebook, where you need to, use really a fine nibbed pen. Very fine. I wish it was medium, but there you go. And this Omas Extra, what a beautiful little pen. I must tell you, I am very impressed. I know some viewers have suggested other Omas vintage pens, some of which have kind of a flexi nib. I'm looking into them. So far, what I've been able to find on eBay is a little too expensive, but I'm going to look out for them in Katowiki and hopefully snap them up for a good price, as I did this one. And I got to tell you, the other pen that I really had fun with was this Asvine V2000, but I have in there a Fountain Pen Revolution Extra Fine Ultra Flex, which I really had some fun with. I mean, I was inspired somewhat by Shaq MD. I say somewhat because I'm not nearly as good as he is with calligraphy and all the rest of it. He has, you can tell from his shorts and his videos, he's having an absolute ball lately with all those expensive flex nibs that he's got. But, you know, I wish I could do one tenth of what he can do. But it kind of inspired me to have my own scribbling and my own fun. And so that pen got used quite a bit. So there you have it. So why don't we, as a starting point, now this paper, I mean, the paper is so thick that I've put it underneath a kind of a template so I can see the lines, because it is photocopy paper and doesn't have any lines, obvious. But wow, this is fairly thick. Having said that, let's see. I mean, I can't see my lines underneath, but it doesn't matter. Let's just see how this paper performs. So this is the Gioia Partenope. In ivory. The nib is is this a medium? Yeah. It's a Gioia branded medium, but with an italic grind. Now I can tell you right away that unlike the Tomo River, this italic has a tendency to let me just here, has a tendency to kind of dig into the paper, and it's kind of scratchy, so it doesn't glide as easily as I would want. Let me see what this Marte Modena has to offer. This is the Freedom. And what have I got on this? I got a medium nib as well. This pen I noticed had a tendency to dry up on me, the ink. So, and my camera is playing tricks on me. Okay, there you go. And then this Delta Marchiaro was very nice. All week I used it. So this is the Delta Marchiaro, and it also has a medium nib. So there you have it. Let me see if I still have some ink in my Asvine V200 with that flex nib. Ugh. Wow, so much fun. Gotta tell you, just a hell of a lot of fun. Let me just see if I could. No. Okay. There we go. So this this flex is really, really nice. I gotta tell you. And what I realize is that the more you Very nice, very nice. Had a lot of fun with that. And this Omas, yeah, look at that. It's just really nice nib. Very nice pen. I gotta tell you, this is the extra. Very nice Omas. And it's just too bad. I mean, the Omas that come out now, I have my serious doubts. And we know all of the controversy over the name and who acquired it and who has the right to use it and all the rest of it. I won't get into all the details, but it's just a pity. My Dieman kind of either ran out of ink or has dried up on me. Yeah, it's dried up on me. Let me just kickstart it a little bit here. Same time, we'll see how that paper does. Yeah, very scratchy on this paper. Yeah, I mean, the pen has a hard time. Yeah, let me just get a cloth here but I want to see how it reacts the other side. There we go. Now, in terms of the reverse side, I mean, it is so thick that nothing goes through. But it's not the greatest paper. Don't like it. On 10, I give it 5 on 10. So this paper is going back to the photocopy machine. Came, I saw, and I conquered, as they say. I've tested it. Actually, I will keep it as part of my paper collection, just because at the end of the year I might do a third series on fountain pen friendly paper, and we'll put that in. Now, we'll use this notebook for this week's 3-pen resurrection. And what have I got to offer you? Well, here they are. First of all, let's go from least expensive to medium and then the most expensive. This is the Fully-Win 017 in coral. I figure with that coral ink, this will go just beautifully. I love this pens, and I love this Fully-Win nib that comes with it. Sometimes these Fully-Win nibs are hit and miss. I'm just hoping this is more of a hit than a miss. This is some of the older versions that I bought, so it should be okay, but we shall see. So that's the Fully-Win 017. I will put it in the description, my video reviewing several of these pens. So that's the least expensive. Then in terms of, a medium priced pen, this is the Ranga, and it's the Splendor Peak. Beautiful pen, more than 7 inches, huge, giant, oversized pen with a nice Yowo. Is it 1.1 or broad? Yeah, 1.1 stub, and of course I've put in the green Mont Blanc ink in here. We'll see how that does. And this is, I think, the beauty that for some reason I have not used as often as I should. But it is, I think, thanks to this one, this Omas, that I'm now using this Omas. This is the Omas Bologna, or Acqua di Bologna. Take a look at that resin. I mean, folks, this is an absolutely gorgeous pen. Now, this is an Omas pen. It's got a 14 karat, beautiful nib. There you have it. It's a cartridge converter pen as opposed to a piston. Very nice weight. Very nice, very comfortable. Posts beautifully. Nice color. So we put the blue ink in there, and we'll see how this pen. But this is this is a Katowiki vintage auction that I picked this up on. Very, very nice. So those are the 3 pens. So why don't I start with my fuller one first? So this is I can see the nib is already crooked. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I can tell that this nib fully went 017. You know what? We'll come back with this one because I did clean it, and when I removed that nib, I think I've sprung it a little bit. So we're going to fix that up, but I will come off camera and be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I did the best I could, but it's and this has a fully one medium nib. Very scratchy, very toothy paper. Toothy. Whereas if I write on this paper, which is the HP premium paper, much smoother. Very smooth here. So it's not the nib, it's the paper. Toothy, scratchy. Now, I'm not fond of this paper, I can tell you right away. Let's see how it does with the Sranga. This normally is a nice smooth gusher, so let's see what gives. So this is the Ranga. Much better. And it has the Yo 1.1 steel stub. I mean, a little bit better, but not great. I got to tell you. Yeah, not the greatest. Let's see how it does with that Omas. The Omas is a real gusher. So, oh, look at this. It hardly, Omas Aqua di Bologna. Yeah, it has a hard time writing on, even on this paper. I'm not impressed to the point where it's kind of not following my pen. Whereas here, much better. Very smooth on what I thought wasn't smooth. So this paper is not, again, very toothy, scratchy. Is it? I mean, it's very thick. Yeah, so you don't see anything on the other side, but I got to tell you, I'm not impressed with this paper at all, at all, at all. I would not recommend it, especially 50 sheets for 25 bucks. No go for me. And I know these pens are worthy of use. So there you have it. We've reviewed that paper. We have my 3 resurrected pens. And maybe I will add to it this week my A9. Just for the fun of it. Let's see how A9 writes on this paper. Yeah, very toothy. Yeah. to thee. No, I just don't like this paper, folks. Sorry. But at least I've reviewed it, got it out of my system. It's going to be part of my synopsis at the end of the year, and my recommendations will come with it. So there you have it. For my upcoming videos, what have we got? Well, I've received so many pens lately that I just don't have enough time to put them up, so I'll put them all up. And you know, I do want to give a little bit of time for you to take in those that I do publish, but it looks like I'm going to have to increase the rhythm of my publishing of my videos. I've got my recap on the weekend, as you know, on the Sunday, for the summer at least. And probably Tuesdays you'll get one pen, and you may get another one or review or some kind of a video on the Thursday as well. I've got the Sailor Tuzu that I've got to review. My Gioia Capodimonte is just waiting to be published, but it keeps getting bumped away, if you will. I got my Faber-Castell pens that I wanted to review for you, at least the starter pens. Like I mentioned early this week, you'll get a Gold Spot exclusive pen that they finally reached out. Looks like my channel is getting some recognition there, and I thank Tom Otto for recognizing that. And I'm now maybe part of those reviewers that are lucky enough to be able to collaborate with Gold Spot, and I thank him for that. And of course, I'm working on that wonderful World of Nib video where I'm going to be reviewing all kinds of questions. And for those of you who don't know, I'll be looking at, these are at least some of the topics. True or false, the best standard nibs are Yowo, followed by Bach, and then Schmidt. Second question, true or false, number 8 nibs are better than number 6 nibs, which followed by number 5 nibs. Do you prefer and would you pay a premium for pens made with in-house nibs versus standard German nibs? For what are my most underrated nibs? 5. Are ebonite feeds always the way to go? 6. Which nibs are the best? Japanese, German, Chinese, or Indian nibs? 7. Are flex nibs overrated? And 8. What are the wettest fountain pen nibs in my collection? So those are like 8 topics, and I can go on and on and on, and it's a work in progress, a lot of work, but I want to make sure that, you know, when I publish part 1 and part 2, that they are informative and entertaining, but stay tuned for that. So, you know what? We'll be right back with feedback and some personal commentary. Okay, we're back. Feedback from my viewers. Well, first of all, I got to thank you guys. I mean, I've been getting nothing but compliments about this weekly recap. I think you are all very cognizant of the amount of work that goes into putting this together. And I try to be as entertaining and as informative as possible. And sometimes, you know, we have slow weeks, like this week wasn't too exciting. And there's nothing new, it's the summer, etc., etc. But I always try to introduce something that's new and that keeps you entertained. And, you know, after all, it's an hour. Not everybody has an hour to waste away. And I truly appreciate the viewership. Thank you very much for encouraging me. Please continue to do so. And it's just good, because if the viewers are there, then I will not hesitate, because I enjoy doing this. But of course, at one point, it's got to be worthwhile for at least some of you. And so, grazie molto a tutti. Thank you very, very much for your wonderful support, and I thank you for that. Now, I got personal commentary. I've got some news to share with you. You will recall, for those of you who watched one of my recaps, maybe perhaps 2 or 3 back, I mentioned to you that Nino Marino reached back to me. I think I had made some, I had gone on a rant about some pen that I had bought that I wasn't pleased about. And I don't know if that's what triggered the whole thing, but Nino Marino from Delta, he's Delta, Mayora, and Nettuno. I mean, he was the founder, one of the founders of Delta before it went out of business and then came back. He bought it up and he started it out again. And they're stationed in Naples. And he had reached out to me, and I had mentioned to him that one of my things on my bucket list would be to actually visit the Delta factory, pen making factory, just to see how they make their pens, etc., and to see their facilities. And Nino Marino was, a real gentleman, said to me, Vincent, no problem. Why don't you come to Naples? And I couldn't go to Naples this year, and so we had agreed that we could kind of do it, via video, and we kind of tape a couple of visits, and the rest is history. And we had waited, and I was busy, he was busy. We finally touched base, and folks, I've changed my mind. I'm going to Italy this year. I told my wife, I cannot pass up this opportunity. I'm going to be visiting Nino Marino in Naples. We've touched base. He's going to pick me up, and he's going to take me to the first thing he's going to take me to is one of the best espresso shops or bars in Naples, and so that I can enjoy what is called a sfogliatella napoletana, nice and hot. It's a pastry that's probably Naples is known for, and a bar that serves probably the best espresso in the world. I told him, which one is it? He said it's a surprise. So he's going to take me to that. After I've had my breakfast, he's going to take me to his factory. We're going to tape it all. We're going to do an interview. He doesn't feel comfortable in English, but yeah, I think he'll do well. And if not, we'll translate. Now, unfortunately, I'll be going there on a Sunday, so we won't actually see his workers or his, craftsmen, making his pens. We will do that in a subsequent video, but at least I get to see his installations, etc. And I will share that with you as soon as I get back from my vacation. That's going to happen in July 24th. It probably will be in Naples, probably July 26th, 27th. Anyway, it's the Sunday. I also be going to Rome and Florence, amongst other things. But I mentioned those three because I'm going to be visiting several pen shops. Let's go to my overhead camera or to my computer, and I'll show you what I plan. And hopefully I will be able to stick to my plan. So let's go cut in. Okay. First thing is first, in Naples, and it won't be too far away, I will be visiting this Casa delle Penne, which is probably the fountain pen store in Naples. So I'll be visiting that store, which is not too far away from where I'm staying, but this is their site. And Casa delle Penne, I'm really going to enjoy going to that store, and any other store that my friend Nino Marino recommends. So that's in Naples. In Florence, I'm going to be visiting, and as you can see, they're all really in the center. If I increase the map here, you'll be able to see that this is the Piazzale Michelangelo. So it's all really in the center. First place I'm going to be visiting is the Visconti flagship store. Then I'll be visiting the Casa della Stilografica, which is a site that I often refer to. That's on Cavour Street. There's another store as well, which is the Stipula store. And there may be some vintage pen stores that I would want to visit, but they're all in and around the center of where, everything really happens in Florence. I'm staying in Florence for 2 days. So I will be visiting those shops, take some videos, and then we'll share that with you when I get back. How does that sound? Okay, that's in Florence. I will also be spending 3 or 4 days in Rome. And what I will be looking at is, one, I will be visiting the Novelli shop. That's number one. There's this vintage shop that I will be visiting as well, called Antica Cartotecnica. There's Campo Marzio Roma, the Campo Marzio pens that I will be visiting. There's the Aurora Pen Boutique, which is a little bit out of the way, but hopefully I'll be able to get to them. There's Stilografica Corsani that I want to visit as well. And then, of course, there's my Stilo e Stile Penne Stilografiche that I also want to visit. So that's 4 or 5 shops in Rome. Hopefully my wife won't be too bored, and maybe more, because like I said, they're all in and around the major sites of Rome, if you will, the old city, etc., Vatican. So that's the bit of news that I wanted to share with you. I'm really, really excited. I also want to show you, before I get to July 24th, we've got, almost a month. I'm going to show you my camera rig that I'm putting together, and what I will be using on that trip to film all my videos. I thought some of you might be interested. Next thing I'd like to know from you guys is that I'm kind of putting together a travel kit of pens, paper, and ink. Give me your thoughts. What notebook should I bring with me? How should I organize myself? And look, I'll be visiting Rome. I will be visiting Florence. I will be visiting Naples. I'll also be visiting Barcelona, Playa de Mallorca. I will be visiting Malta. I will be visiting Sicily as well, and Sardinia. So I've got quite a bit of traveling to do. I'm going for several weeks, and I just like to know, how do I journal this stuff? In other words, how do I get to make sure that this trip is going to be a fountain pen therapy trip for both my viewers, but most importantly for me? After all, I'm paying for it. Should I journal? How should I enjoy those pens? Should I journal when I'm at a site, sit a little bit like Hemingway Jones does and take in the scenery and just describe it? Or do I do that back in my hotel when the day is done? How would you do it? And what notebook would you use? What pens should I bring? You've seen a lot of my pens. What pens should I bring, taking into account that I will be traveling probably in cars, in trains, and also obviously in a plane? And what inks should I be bringing with me? What inks do you think travel best? And any other tips that you may have, traveling tips. And you know what? I might take all your suggestions and my own opinion on that, and maybe make a video on traveling for fountain pen enthusiasts, if you will, and put together a kit for all of us. There you go. Okay, so please contribute and give me your suggestions, and we'll kind of put them all together in the coming weeks, either in a separate video or maybe even in the weekly recaps that are going to be coming in the coming weeks. So there you have it. Thank you very, very much for joining me again this week. Please subscribe. Click on that button. It helps. If you like it, press it. It costs nothing. And, of course, it helps the channel. Allora, grazie molto. Thank you very much for your indulgence. Thank you very much for your patience. Hopefully this has been another, entertaining video. Forza Italia. You got to do better, Italy. You got to do better. I think you're meeting up with Croatia next. Let's beat Croatia, and at least you'll go into the next round. But my money's on England. My money's on England. Let's see what happens. Okay? Stay tuned, folks. Grazie molto. Arrivederci.